London, the East India Company had a terrific surplus of Darjeeling tea. They were tied in with the British government who did not want to see them go under. Also, at the same time, the British government had been unsuccessfully attempting to tax their American colonies. So someone comes up with a bright idea of killing two birds with one stone. Sell this surplus tea cheaply to the tea-loving American colonists. Add to it the King's 3p tax, exerting your authority to prove that you're capable of taxing those colonies. Even with the King's 3p tax, that tea is so dirt cheap, it's cheaper than any of the tea John Hancock, any of the Dutch tea he's smuggling into the American colonies to sell to his fellow countrymen. So the economics of a revolution, tea comes all along the Atlantic coastboard. A shipload arrives in New York, it gets turned around and sent back to England. Philadelphia, Charleston, South Carolina as well. In Boston, it's to be a different story. The royal governor, Thomas Hutchinson, is going to draw a hard line in the sand. That tea is going to be unloaded from those ships. He's got a 3-week period in which if the taxes are not paid on the tea, he can then seize it to the customs and have it brought on shore. In those 3 weeks, the colonists of Boston are meeting at Faneuil Hall to debate the issue and to appeal to the royal governor. Allow the harbor to be opened up. Let those merchant ships go back to England as they have elsewhere. He keeps on refusing. So the final night, with Faneuil Hall being too small a venue, Sam Adams marches everybody up to here. Even this building is too small. They're spilled out onto the sidewalk. There are about 8,000 Bostonians. If that number doesn't impress you, the town's population that evening was only about 15,000. Everyone seemingly is here. A final appeal is made when a rider is sent out to the governor's mansion in Milton. He comes back with word that the royal governor says nay, the tea will be unloaded in the morning. Sam Adams puts into operation his plan. About 100 of those colonists dressed in the disguise of Mohawk Indians, fooling absolutely nobody. The nearest Mohawk Indian is 100 miles away in upstate New York. This was all about disguising their identity. Frankly, we wear the same clothes for weeks on end in colonial Boston. Not only can we be a bit odorous, but easily recognizable. The only thing damaged, by the way, was a padlock, and that was to be replaced the following day. That's if you don't count $2 million worth of tea, which is what it would have been amounted to today. It was tossed in the harbor and destroyed. Parliament was stunned and punitive when they heard about this. They closed the port of Boston. Consider that you're a merchant in Boston, but maybe you're a Tory. You're a loyalist. You're in favor of the king. Now they close the port on you. You're going to be punished as much as anybody else. They would not allow us to elect our own officials. Not much left for the colony, that's Massachusetts, to do, except to appeal to her sister colonies to help her. Whether if they can do it to us, who's next? We have no navy, not much of an army. What are you doing tomorrow? Let's take on the most powerful empire in the world, shall we? The statues behind me are commemorating a significant piece of the city's history. That of the Irish potato famine in the 1840s, by the droves, Irish would migrate to cities like Boston, especially Boston, seeking relief from the Great Hunger.